Warning: the following episode contains sexually graphic discourse on Bigfoot getting his fuck on. If you are at all disturbed by conversation focusing on Bigfoot's 3-foot long giant dick, then perhaps this is not the episode for you. Viewer discretion is advised.
There's a creature in the woods with a 3-foot dong, trying to make love all night long. Bigfoot, get all erotic, cause we're trying to shag that furry carpet. Bigfoot, walking with that 3-foot dick. Bigfoot, that's too much fur. Just one appellation here. Bigfoot says to open wide, cause Roddy cryptid going inside. Laddies or fellas, doesn't matter the type. Cryptid coming to play some of that pipe. Erotic, Bigfoot all night long. Come here, baby, with that 3-foot dong. Bigfoot Erotica, cryptid loving. Coming out those woods to give you something. Bigfoot, I'm coming to bust that nut.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey. What did we get ourselves into?
Yeah, did you guys like that? I wrote that song actually.
Yeah, I gotta
love it.
I have to hand it to you. That was they got me moving a little bit.
I've been on this kick lately, man. Ever since I figured out AI music makers,
Yeah.
I've been on this kick. So here we are, folks. We're doing it, guys. Tonight, we're going to discuss the one Bigfoot topic that is taboo amongst the rest of the cryptid community, and that is the topic of Bigfoot Erotica. Oh.
Yeah.
Monica's fashionably late. She comes in right when we miss the theme song, right at the end of the theme song. As a matter of fact, you know what? Should I play the theme song again just for Monica?
Might as well. She's got to hear it.
I loved it.
Oh, wait, she disappeared.
Don't wait. Oh, she just disappeared again.
Oh, no. I was going to play the theme song for her.
You, Jackie.
I was so looking forward to having... Oh. I was so looking forward, Monica, to having you watch... You didn't get to see the theme song?
I did not.
Okay, we're playing the theme song one more time, folks. Just for Monica. All right. Warning. The following episode contains sexually graphic discourse on Bigfoot getting his fuck on. If you are at all disturbed by conversation focusing on Bigfoot's 3-foot long giant dick, then perhaps this is not the episode for you. Viewer discretion is advised.
There's a creature in the woods with a 3-foot dong, trying to make love all night long. Bigfoot, get all erotic, cause we're trying to shag that furry carpet. Bigfoot, walking with that 3-foot dick. Bigfoot, that's too much fur. Just one appellation here. Bigfoot says to open wide, cause Roddy cryptid going inside. Laddies or fellas, doesn't matter the type. cryptid coming to play some of that pipe. Erotic, Bigfoot all night long. Come here, baby, with that 3-foot on. Bigfoot Erotica, cryptid loving. Coming out those woods to give you something. Bigfoot, I'm coming to bust that nut.
So what'd you think? That's my masterpiece.
Entirely too long, and I'm afraid of where you got that.
Oh, don't worry. I actually got a second song that I wrote. Coming up at the end as the outro. There'll be a different song. But yeah.
So I have one thing to say about that song, Donnie.
Sure.
At the conference, if we decide to do karaoke, you have to get up and sing that song.
Oh, I actually have multiple versions of this song. I'll you know what? I'll prepare something. This is literally the first song I've ever written in my entire life, so I'm feeling kind of proud of it. It's like my baby.
It'll be on the airwaves in no time.
You know,
right,
Donny,
guys. Yeah. Go ahead.
Donny, when you previewed that song the other day, it reminded me of the movie Shaft. No pun intended.
That's what I was going for, actually.
Shut your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I raced home. I couldn't miss the show. I said, yeah, Mom. I was at my brother's. And I decided how to dress for the show. You know, I got mine after this. So in the spirit of Easter, I wore pink. But also, I thought the color pink was very apropos for this show.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about Bigfoot Erotica tonight, guys. And I think all of us are well aware when the topic itself was first introduced to the mainstream zeitgeist. It was a couple years back. There was that election back in Virginia, right? Do you guys remember this in the news?
Nope.
So it was an election for a House seat in Congress, and it was between these two individuals. On the Democrat side, it was Leslie Cockburn, and then on the Republican side, Denver Riggleman for a House seat for the state of Virginia. Okay? So I think this was like, I don't know, 21, 22 when this occurred.
Okay.
And basically, Leslie Cockburn, the Democrat, she wanted to throw some shit at her Republican opponent. And one of the things she did was she put up this tweet. You might need to full screen it, but she says basically, my opponent, Denver Riggleman, running mate of Corey Stewart, was caught on camera campaigning with a white supremacist. Now he has been exposed as a devotee of Bigfoot Erotica. This is not what we need on Capitol Hill, right? And she shows a screenshot of Denver Riggleman's Instagram where he's showing a picture of Bigfoot with his cock out, obviously censored because he is a public figure. And she's using this to throw mud and say, how could you even think about voting for this guy? That's like her campaign tactic, right?
Wow.
So she puts up another one here. This is another like post from this Denver Riggleman, the Republican. So Leslie Cockburn, she's like, this is from my opponent Denver Riggleman's Bigfoot Erotica collection. It's a screenshot of his Instagram of like a really shitty job of his face being posted. Like he posted this, right?
Oh gosh.
Like obviously he's kidding. I mean, but then like she posted it with his caption underneath. This is what his caption says, guys. So my buddies thought this pic was fitting for my birthday, like his military buddies. He later said in an interview, my buddies thought this pic was fitting for my birthday next week and to celebrate my new book release in about a month or two, Mating Habits of Bigfoot and Why Women Want Him.
What?
He legitimately published that book.
There's a book. Okay.
So that's when people started talking about like, oh, hey, Bigfoot Erotica is a thing. And then people started looking into it and they started realizing that, yes, indeed, it is a thing.
Everything erotica is a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we were at Gatlinburg conference 2 years ago, there was a author catty corner from us, and she sold Bigfoot romance novels.
Jeez.
And it was like when Brandy told me that, I'm like, what? because I'm like, there's no freaking way. And people were buying them. I kid you not. And
Did you see people buying them?
Yes. Yeah. Because
No.
me and Brandy sat there and kind of laughed to ourselves about them, It's like,
there's erotic books about everything. So I, as you know, read a lot, and I have, my little book recommendations at the end of my show. So I enjoy werewolf stories.
yeah.
And I was doing a search on Audible, like, werewolf books or something. I wasn't specific enough. And I can't tell you how many werewolf erotica books popped up on Audible.
Oh,
I was like, that's not what I'm looking for.
Right. So I have a question though. So these people that either write these books, number one, they are just as twisted in the mind, or number two, they're making a freaking killing off of the people who are twisted in the minds,
Or maybe both.
Maybe
both.
Yeah.
Gosh, I would think that, okay. I would think first off, it's a money-making ploy because somebody wants to make money.
Sure.
And they don't care what expense it is. But can you imagine, though, coming up with Bigfoot Erotica, which you're going to publish, friends and family are going to see it. I mean,
well, they all use pen names, right?
Yeah,
They're sobriquets.
Maybe ghost writers. But even to come up with this, to make this up, there's only so much.
So this is one instance where I would be okay with AI writing a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, little bit more about that election though. So that Democrat lady who
Leslie Cockburn,
Leslie Cockburn.
Yeah.
What a
name.
Did she find a cream?
By the way, personally, I think it's a real cuntbag move to do because obviously this dude is just kidding.
Yeah.
And to try to ruin a guy's reputation to win an election, can't you just, I don't know, talk about his policies? You gotta point this out, which he's clearly just joking with his friends about. And that's your campaign strategy.
That's lazy.
Fucking, I'm gonna say the C word, guys. It's a cuntbag move.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't come up with any other trash, probably. So that's what.
Oh, little fun fact about Leslie Cockburn here.
Mm-hmm.
She is the mother of Olivia Wilde.
Ah.
For real?
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Straight up.
Olivia Wilde did My Guy Pretty Dirty at the end of their marriage.
Like Joe from Trump?
No.
Olivia Wilde. No, he was married to the actor from Saturday Night Live. I'm thinking about somebody else.
Yeah, what's it?
Jason
Sudeikis.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I love him.
I do too.
And, this guy here, he's like a typical salt of the earth kind of dude. His claim to fame is that he actually runs a distillery with his wife. Funnily enough, it's called Silverback Distillery. But they produce whiskeys.
That's cool. Yeah.
So wait, Monaco, how did she do the guy dirty, though? I don't follow celebrity gossip.
There were rumors that hold on one second. That she was, I know they're rumors, but she was cheating on him, and then during the divorce, and I want to say he was over in London filming. She was doing something. I don't remember the details, but I remember thinking that's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
She was doing something to keep the kids from seeing him. She was where he's just really trying to be amicable. She was not on board with being amicable.
Well, you know what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So guys, I've been researching some of these books. I've been researching the scene. I've been spending the last few weeks actually looking very deeply into the world of Bigfoot Erotica. I may have actually downloaded a few as ebooks and started reading some and started getting a little bit involved in the world. I started to figure out who the big names, who the big players were. And I actually have a fun challenge I think we could do tonight, guys.
Okay.
So I've prepared a number of slides that show the actual, you know how when you do when you buy books online, right? Like at Amazon, they'll give you that overview before you download it or before you order it. So I have a number of Bigfoot Erotica books with their overviews as available on online shopping. and let's take turn reading some of these out loud.
Okay.
Please, let's do so.
Okay.
I might need to
Now, okay, a couple things that I've learned with my time of Bigfoot Erotica is this. You can tell how raunchy the book is going to be by how shitty the cover art is.
Right.
So if it looks like they put some effort into the cover art, or if it's somewhat professionally done, not quite as raunchy, but if you know they put zero effort at all, like it's like a shitty Photoshop job, it's going to be raunchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
the rule of thumb that I've learned.
okay.
The Donny Cho Survival Guide of
Good.
Bigfoot Erotica.
Guide to Bigfoot Erotica.
I will say this about you, Donny, before
Yes.
you move on. I love the fact that you do take the time to research every single episode of Donny Cho Says Stuff. I appreciate that.
I do.
Yes.
I put a lot of effort into these episodes, guys. Yeah, some of the subject matter is silly, but I take my show very seriously.
As you should.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, I'll start with the first one. Let me full screen this one. Actually, yeah, I'll start with this one. This one's called Satisfying Sasquatch, Bigfoot Erotica Part 1. These are usually multi-part affairs. So I'll read this one here. This one is fairly raunchy. This one's like mid-level raunchy. Basically, college freshman Wendy Nelson went to the lake to do a little sunbathing. She thought she was alone in the woods. So what was the harm in a little nude sunbathing in nature? What the buxom blonde beauty didn't know as she stripped off her clothes was that she wasn't really alone. Laying there, naked in the sun, Wendy began feeling aroused. Again, she thought she was alone, so she figured it wouldn't hurt to touch herself a little. And as she satisfied her own desires, though, Wendy was stoking the fire of her silent watcher. Bigfoot. As Wendy reaches the peak of her own pleasure, Bigfoot decides it's time for a closer look. When the lovely Coette sees the legendary Sasquatch standing over her, she isn't scared by the giant. She's too horny herself for that. She quickly realizes that Bigfoot is just like any other man, only bigger in every way. Wendy likes her men big, but can she handle the needs of a horny Sasquatch? What do you think is going to happen in this one, guys? I'm like, how do you think this one plays
I
out?
don't even want to know.
How much experience does the college freshman have?
Now, I mean, for you guys, right? I mean, if we're all four of us, right? If we're lying there after like swimming in the forest and there's a Bigfoot standing over me, I mean, I'm going to have some thoughts, but like sexual thoughts are going to be like the last of them, you know?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. I would, number one, not be caught alone in the forest by myself laying on a blanket.
Right.
Having these thoughts anyways.
Yeah.
And to just to see one in person would be like, last thing I would think of.
Did he wake her up by slapping her in the face with it since it's 3 feet long? A little.
Okay.
At first, she thought it was a snake until she followed the 3 foot.
She thought,
okay.
Not windy out. Why are the branches hitting me?
Okay. How about this one? Okay, this one, Monica. I'll have you read this one out loud. But based off the I guess the tone of the overview, it's clearly from the point of view of like a very it's a first person, but it's from the point of view of like a ditzy bimbo. So you got to put on your best ditzy bimbo impersonation.
All right.
Okay, and this one's not as raunchy, but this one is called Old MacDonald Had a Bigfoot. Would you like to read this one out loud?
Bigfoot's face
Monica?
looks very familiar to me. It looks like some.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, let's try some. Okay. When am I about to go on a steamy European summer? Okay, so when I'm about to go on a steamy European summer break with my best friends, my grandma breaks her ankle. Will my parents head over to the old MacDonald farm to check on her? Of course not. It's me. What do you even do in rural Georgia? There aren't many guys I can play up here. No hot lumberjacks, no cute farmers boys, none. On the other hand, something's up at the old farm. My grandparents are hiding from the public. Something big, hairy, and freaking sexy. I don't know why there's a Bigfoot in my grandparents' farm, but this summer is about to get a hell of a lot more interesting.
What do you think she finds at the farm, guys? What do you think she encounters?
3 feet long dong is what I think she finds.
She's gonna find a Bigfoot in the barn.
You're gonna find that Big Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Nope.
just like okay, so she's on a farm and a Bigfoot's like not available. Does she just go for the donkeys?
Start slow.
Reasonable
Yes.
replacement.
Please start with the donkey. Yes.
Based on the
Okay, so here's how I imagine it proceeding. Like she goes there to take care of her parents or grandparents, right? Who are stuck in bed, right? They can't do anything because they're stuck in bed. They broke their ankles, but they ask for some freshly milked milk. So she goes out to the barn to milk the cow to get some fresh milk. Only, wait a minute, this ain't a cow. This is something else.
Okay, if you've ever milked a cow, there is no way you are going to mistake one for the other. I don't get that is a deformed Bigfoot if it looks like a cow.
Exactly. It's got a major.
Not terribly impressive, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of them would be impressive. Just saying.
Well, I don't know. 3 feet would terrify anybody. I guess it's not a Bigfoot, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you seen the horses?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all come across it. Yeah.
But I don't mistake it for a cow udder.
That's true. That's true.
The horse does kind of, as I've seen throughout my life, of course, it looks kind of human.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
So who wants to go next, Rob or Krista?
Doesn't matter.
I'll go.
Okay, Rob, this one's simple, but I chose this one for you because the other two are from the point of view of women. This one's a third person point of view. This one's called Gay Bigfoot, a mouthful of Sasquatch. See, here's the thing. One of the things I noticed about Bigfoot erotica, there's basically two genres. When the first genre is usually like Bigfoot, like ravaging some woman, right, with his giant dong, like Bigfoot, like forces himself on her.
So
but usually at first they're scared, but then they like are really into it. They get really involved in it. But the second time is the other genre of Bigfoot erotica is the gay stuff. That's like its whole thing.
Of course, I get stuck reading the gay one. Very good.
Well, but here's the thing. I did not find any Bigfoot erotica of like a human man hooking up with a female Bigfoot. None. I looked.
No, like, okay, have you heard about waxing? Like, dudes don't want any hair on a woman anymore. That's way too much hair.
Well, I mean,
Right.
I couldn't find any female Bigfoot stuff. Actually, no, I found some female Bigfoot stuff, but it was mostly male Bigfoots. Mm-hmm. So he's either like fucking a human female or fucking a human male, right?
Well, it's women like, I guess, fantasizing about 3 feet, whatever, but probably men, projecting what they wish they had onto some unsuspecting lady in the book. Like, okay, so millimeter.
See, but here's the thing, okay.
Erotica, pretending that's him doing that.
At first I was thinking that, but then I realized something. You got to consider when it comes to erotica, like by itself, minus the monster stuff, like erotica by itself, like as a genre of like literature and novels, you're not seeing too many straight men reading that because straight men usually just watch porn. Usually the consumers of erotic fiction are either straight women or gay men.
That's not true because Hustler used to, when they had the Hustler magazine, they sold it in the porn shop.
That was before the internet. That was before the internet.
I know, but there's still old school dudes. I'm sure they still print that shit. Not just Hustler, but they had the packets that came with them with little books. And, just like everybody reads Playboy for the articles, like some of that stuff wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there used to be fascinating sports articles in Playboy.
Well, you got to think about it. It would only be straight women or gay men who would fantasize about being ravished by a wild, hairy beast.
Well, if I remember correctly, over at Gatlinburg, it was I remember a lot of women over there at that author.
Well, okay, so there's like the just straight like hustler, like backroom kind of writing, and then there's the like truly romance novels. Like they're
right.
Oh, I'm so in love with him, and he's gentle and this and that. It's not like, you know, if you tripped across this in real life, I don't think anything about your encounter with Bigfoot is going to be gentle. If that's what he's going for, you know?
I mean,
like, girls want that. Usually it's a good looking, you know, tall, dark, handsome dude who's brooding, and, you know, he doesn't talk to anybody, but he noticed me.
Right.
I find it hard to imagine, even if a girl came across a hot looking, great looking man, human man. I think, though, if he did sport a 3-footer, I don't think women are turned on to that, right?
Well, okay, okay, if that was a fact, if it was legit 3 foot, it would be coming out of your nostril.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, let me ask you this, ladies. Okay, do you remember the original 1980 show Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
With lady with Sarah Connor from Terminator and Ron Perlman as the Beast. Did you think that Beast was kind of sexy?
No.
No, because there were a number of women who thought he was legitimately sexy, and I think it's those same women who would buy these kinds of Bigfoot erotica books.
There's the furry thing too. People dress up like freaking mascots, essentially. They dress up like animals and go out in the woods and do all kinds of crazy shit.
Right.
So, you know, it's clearly a thing.
And is this like a form of like bestiality? Like, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, it's a non-taboo bestiality. Right?
See, not really the way Bigfoot is written. He's written like an unattainable man. You'll see what I mean.
Oh,
Rob, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Go for it.
These are sound bites.
Here we go. It's hard to talk with a mouthful of Bigfoot. Jack Leatherman. Erotic short story number 1. A buff, handsome Sasquatch sneaks into your tent at night and shows you the wild, loving you really deserve in a night of passion. Hairy, sexy love making. Part 1 is a series of short stories. Follow the author on Twitter at Jack L. Books.
Jack Leatherman. Oh yeah. He only wrote 2. It was only 2 books. He wasn't as prolific. You know who the big name? Of all the gay Bigfoot erotica authors, I feel like the biggest one is probably Chuck Tingelman. He is the author of such works as The Twilight Bone, pounded by that handsome Bigfoot hiding on the wing of a plane whose wiener is huge. And then his other work, Pounded by President Bigfoot, with the ghettoest fucking cover there is. So you know this shit gets raunchy. He is like the one who produces the most or the best selling like gay Bigfoot erotica.
Okay.
But his stories get kind of involved because it's usually like Bigfoot takes out like, okay, for example, so I read a bit about the one on the left, Twilight Bone. Basically, the premise was that it's the Twilight Zone episode with Will Shatner, right? Where he's looking out the plane and he sees that monster in the wing, right?
Yeah.
The same premise. But then the guy starts screaming, oh my God, there's a Bigfoot on the wing. And then the pilots are like, we know, everybody knows he's the thing that's keeping this plane in flight. Without that Bigfoot, we'll crash. Like he's keeping the plane like functioning. And he's like, but they're like, oh no. And the guy's like, what? And they're like, Bigfoot is erect. And the guy's like, why is that a problem? And the pilot's like, if he's erect, he can't fly the plane. He can only fly the plane if his penis is flaccid. So you, sir, protagonist, you need to go out onto the wing and you need to gratify Bigfoot sexually so that everyone on the plane can live.
Oh boy.
There's so much to unpack with that. Holy cow. So There's voyeurism because you're doing it
Yeah.
on the wing where everybody can see. You got some weird aviation fetish. Clearly Bigfoot. Clearly big hairy everything.
This guy puts like a lot of thought into his, like a lot, way more than I would expect, because you would expect just one long sex scene, but like the one on the right, that were pounded by President Bigfoot, like he goes into this whole thing about Bigfoot is the first non-human president, and he's got his cabinet, and it's like, what would it mean if Bigfoot were into like White House, and then he pounds this guy.
All right, well, it's okay.
Yes.
I'm cracking up at the comments in chat.
Yeah. They're aroused for sure, Donnie.
Yeah.
In a different way, of course.
Jason, you're missing out. You said you were out and about. Why are you not here?
Yeah, Jason needs to hop on here.
Yeah.
No, Jason is Bible guy. This episode
why
is not
Jason
appropriate
needs to
for his
hop on
Christian
here.
ears.
Well, then he shouldn't be in the chat or listening. Divert thine ears, sir.
Why is he in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh. Where is he? I don't see him. Anyway. So I did some research into who is like the George R.R. Martin of Bigfoot Erotica. Like, you know how like there's fantasy novelists, and there's a fuck ton of them, right? But then there's only one like George R.R. Martin or J.K. Rowling. Like the straight up J.K. Rowling of the genre is Virginia Wade, the author of the series known as Come for Bigfoot. It's like a 10-part series. And
Is
she
this
also
like
does
the movie we watched that night on here.
No, but it's CUM for Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she did the Moan for Bigfoot series, guys. Now, let me tell you the kicker and the main reason why I brought you here, because I found some shocking fucking details about this woman. Her name is Virginia Wade. Well, first of all, she is technically a New York Times bestselling author. Technically, because these books sold that much.
Now wait a minute. This is on the New York Times best-selling list.
No.
What's the name of it?
I never saw her name on the list, but in her little bio on like Amazon, like where you order her books on Kindle, that's what the description says, that she's technically a New York Times bestselling author. And Deadspin actually tracked her numbers in this article I found on Slate. Let me just read this bit here for you. This was on slate.com. It was about the Bigfoot Erotica and this whole election shit between these two, right? But okay, so back in 2014, Kate Heaney, this investigative reporter, wrote what is probably the definitive piece on the unsettlingly large market of self-published Bigfoot Erotica. She reviewed the most popular Bigfoot Erotica books on Amazon, including the one written by Ann L. Probe. She's another big name, Ann L. Probe, which I can only hope is a heavy-handed pseudonym. While Heaney only read 7 of the books, there are countless tales of Sasquatch seduction out there. Earlier that same year, the Daily Beast reported that a popular 16-part book erotica series titled Come for Bigfoot, right?
Yes.
Come for Bigfoot, this
Yes.
earned the author about $30,000 per month through Kindle Direct Publishing.
Shit.
Oh gosh.
$30,000 a fucking month. So that's why I brought you here. So I'm like,
I think we should collaborate as a group.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm
you know what? I've already turned. I'm going to get into this.
I've already decided I'm going to do it. And when I found, okay, if I 30,000 a month, okay, she's the best. She's the George R. R. Martin, right? But let's say I do a Bigfoot Erotica and I make maybe a third of that. Shit, I could use an extra 10K a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is easy money, guys.
And the beautiful thing about that is it's the money that keeps giving. You're making money while you sleep. I'll take 10 grand a month.
That's right.
And all she's doing is she's writing these stories and she's putting them up on like fucking Amazon and Kindle, like with the self-publishing stuff.
Yeah.
And she's just making bank. I'm like, it's that easy? It's that easy.
Apparently.
Why didn't we come up with that idea years ago?
I mean, what the fuck are we doing with our lives, guys?
You know what,
Why are we-
Donnie? I just got my, how my series is True Cryptid Encounters. My next one's going to be True Cryptid Erotica. I think I might have
just
to
change your name, right? Just change your name. So like you could still do Bigfoot Michigan Rob. You can still do what you do, but then you just use a different name, right? A pseudonym.
A really different name.
Right.
Jack Jackman.
And then just call yourself whatever the fuck,
Yeah, Dick Headley.
Or Jack Blake.
What was it? Oh, what was my boyfriend's dad's name? Dick Johnson. That was his legit name.
Okay, listen, I don't want to change the topic, but one of my managers I had back when I worked at Ford's, and I laughed when he said what his name was when I had to interview him. And I swear, and I'm sorry, Don, just really quickly, his actual name was Jack Meoff. I said, your parents must have hated you. Okay, enough said.
You got to use that name as your pseudonym, Rob.
But that
should be your pseudonym.
That's the guy's born name. Yep. So.
Hey, let me ask you guys, if you had to be a Bigfoot Erotica author, what pseudonym would you choose?
Dick Johnson.
Oh, you would pretend to be a guy? You wouldn't pretend to be a female author?
Yeah. Why would I use a woman's name? Nobody knows it's me.
Yeah.
It's your good old buddy, Dick Johnson.
Not that I know anything about this, but a lot of times your porn stars, they use their pet's name and their street that they were born on. They use that as their... So I think I would go with the flashy Coco Culver.
Chesty LaRue.
Okay.
Oh, that's my stage name.
So, Krista, are you ready for your narration time now? Okay. So this title is more, it sounds ridiculous, but the actual overview is actually not as raunchy as one would expect. But it's called Bigfoot Threw Rocks at Me, So I Fucked It. By Danielle DeGauer.
God damn.
Okay, Krista, you ready to read this one?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
You know what they say about monsters with big feet? They have even bigger secrets. After having an argument with her boyfriend, Emily escapes to the Payette National Forest and discovers the ultimate rebound, Sasquatch. Deep in the forest, Emily uncovers the Bigfoot realm, a place where magic reigns, and she's destined to become queen. Will Emily choose her old life or find love as wild and untamed as the myths she chases? Bigfoot Threw Rocks at Me, So I Fucked It is a standalone, smutty, paranormal romance for readers 18 plus. It's hard being in love with a wild thing you try to hold on to find stability, but you're always chasing something elusive, something just out of reach. I should know. I've built my career chasing wild things.
My God, that's
that was the fun.
I mean, I would write this shit for $30,000 a month, wouldn't you?
That's funny.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
I mean, it's like Breaking Bad, like meth lab money, you know?
You know what else is big? Fae erotica. Women like them some dark fae.
Fae erotica?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Wow. Fae, yeah.
So, okay, guys. So, I've decided to try my hand at Bigfoot Erotica. Can I show you the book that I'm working on? Well, I've two book ideas, actually. Okay, here's my book idea. Balls Deep in Bigfoot, an erotic novella by Johnny Doe. What do you guys think?
You know, Johnny's...
Johnny Doe. See, no one will think it's me, guys.
Oh, no.
Balls Deep in Bigfoot. And I use novella because it sounds sexier than just erotic novel. Novella.
I think that the picture, the cover, was certainly drawing the gay crowd. It was kind of a queer looking snatch.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So this one's going to be different because I mentioned earlier how there's no stories about human men hooking up with female Bigfoots, right?
Right.
That's why it's called Balls Deep in Bigfoot, because it's the human men who are balls deep in Bigfoot, as written by Johnny Doe. Now, okay, so let me give you a quick rundown of what the story idea is, right? So it's 4 human dudes. They go to the woods and they're like all studly and manly, right? So the first human dude is his name is the Texanist Texan, to ever be a Texan. So he's the Texanist Texan, right? So the other sexy,
He's a
handsome
big,
dude.
bulging man.
Yeah, our other protagonist is, we call him the soldier with the tin hat. And he's all shredded and buffed, and he wears his tin hat because he's such a soldier.
He looks like
Right?
somebody I think should be torn in half.
And they're all like
Yeah,
buff, right? They all have like glistening 6-packs. The third guy, he's called the Bible guy. He's all good and holy. He's like a redhead, but he's got like, he's like smoldering at the
I
same
think I know
time.
these guys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is the Bible steaming?
Oh, but it's just a whole lot of sexiness going around, you know?
Mm.
He's just smoldering. And then the fourth protagonist, his name is Big Hair Ohio Bob.
Oh god.
And he's got the bandana and the 80s hairstyle. And I
Boy,
tried
oh,
to
boy.
I tried to make a Miami Vice style jacket, but the
Yeah.
AI couldn't figure that out. And they're all like frolicking in the forest, and they're like swimming in the lake and shit. You know, they got their shirts off. And then fucking female Bigfoot comes along, and she's like, "Me like what me see," you know. So when our 4 protagonists, the Texanist Texan, Soldier of the Tin Hat, the Bible guy, and Big Hair Michigan Rob, when they go to sleep in their tents.
Ohio Bob, please. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Big Hair Ohio Bob. Sorry. So then when the females, they catch them in their tents. They drag him off to their caves because there are no more male Bigfoots around because they've all been killed off by Dogman. So the female Bigfoots, they need that human seed to, continue the line. So they find these strapping men, and a whole bunch of sexiness ensues. Yeah. I think this will be a whole series. It'll be like Twilight, guys. And each one falls in love with his own Bigfoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I'm
bonds.
not even kidding. You need to go for it.
Big Hair Ohio Bob.
You know.
Yep. That's hilarious.
So my other book idea, the other book idea I had, like Monica, you had mentioned earlier that you saw like werewolf erotica, right?
Yeah.
I even saw like alien erotica. There was like
There's
demon
all
erotica.
kinds.
The demon erotica is kind of weird because it's like,
Yeah.
that gives it. But
It's
one of the,
to me.
Not that this isn't a creepy vibe, anyways.
but here's the thing, I never seen anyone come out with no Dogman erotica. There's werewolf erotica, but there's no Dogman erotica. So I want to write the first Dogman erotica novel. So that'll be my second novel. It'll be called Dick Down by Dogman by Johnny Doe.
Dick Down by Dogman.
It's got a nice ring to it, right?
I like how he's got the Fabio hair going.
Yeah, I made AI do that. I was like, give him
Your
Fabio
AI
hair.
must be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're on
Dick
a watch
Down by
list
Dogman.
somewhere, Donny. I'm just saying.
There's no Dogman stuff.
Okay.
Well, you can turn that ship right around, Donny.
You
Yeah.
can be the first
Never
one to
Tony
enter
Doe.
that market.
Yeah.
We got to do it, guys. $30,000 a month. Does that not make you angry? Seriously, the fact that this lady,
Right.
she wrote 10 of these and is getting $30K a month.
You know what makes me angry is there are kids on YouTube that make bank more than that from unboxing toys.
Oh,
True,
gosh. But
true.
you know what, Monica, not to steer the subject, you know what annoys me? It's the parents making the bank because of their kids,
Yeah.
All of your top 10 YouTube channels are all kids doing kid stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway.
Okay, I feel really creepy about talking about kids on this show, so let's change it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about something a little bit more adult then. So, Bigfoot's dick.
Indeed.
So, I have something to share with you guys before we end tonight, guys. None of you guys saw the early episodes of my show, right? Because it's fine,
Mhm.
If you guys don't give a shit about me, I understand.
You're the cool.
Not true, or we wouldn't be here.
I'm just
Quite
kidding.
true, Donny.
No.
I catch everybody's show.
No, my show was done in secret. I barely told anyone like the first few episodes because I just was kind of like just dicking around. But
Correct.
so my first episode I ever did was about Bigfoot's dick. I think a lot of people saw that one. I think you saw that one, Rob, because you actually left a comment.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! I can't believe he's talking about Bigfoot's dick. He spent a whole thing about it.
Yeah, right.
Because I want to be the only cryptid person out there on the internet who openly talks about Bigfoot's dick. Because apparently everyone in this scene is too fucking pure to bring it up, right? Everyone's too. Oh, I gotta watch my reputation. I write books. I'm a scientist. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, you can't talk about his dick or his balls.
Part of anatomy.
What are we Puritans here? What are we, saints?
You know what? I would like them to, when they finally bring the carcass in or a piece of the Bigfoot, bring his junk in. Just slap a big 3-foot dick and balls, like right on that examination table.
I could do something even better
Riddle
for
me
you.
this. Get some DNA off of that. It's got like the sperm in it too. You got the whole sack and balls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all kinds of DNA to work.
It's right there and ready.
Yeah.
So after I did my first episode about Bigfoot's dick, my second episode was the first time I had a guest, the first time Mr. Jason McLean appeared on my show. And the topic was about Bigfoot's dick. And here's the original thumbnail from the second episode. It was called Jason McLean Questions Bigfoot's Dick.
I'm sure
And
you
did you-
appreciated the hell out of that.
And you notice how, by the way, guys, you notice how when I made this thumbnail, I had like Bigfoot's dick right next to Jason McLean's head? Yeah, that was by design.
Of course it was.
Is it size comparison?
So I'm going to play a clip, a very important clip, like a brief clip from that episode, because in that clip, something freaking monumental happens. Jason shows an actual Bigfoot footage video of Bigfoot's actual dick. So we're going to see it tonight, guys,
All right.
for reals. We are actually going to see real footage of Bigfoot's actual penis. Are you guys ready?
Let's see it.
All right. It's happening.
Eventually. Is it the unicorn horn?
There should be mention of the wang. There is no mention of the wang. And it seems a little disingenuous to me, if I'm to be honest.
Well, we have more than just.
I'm sorry, Cho. You look like the Unabomber in that room.
Okay, so introduce this one to me. Tell me what this is about before we start.
So
it.
this is
That's
a video.
before I figured out
It's called
lighting.
The Redwoods video. It's been around for a long time. Again, like everything, it's alleged. It's an alleged video of Bigfoot.
I kind of like the
And
Unabomber look,
I'm
actually.
just going to push play.
This
So
is a real
essentially,
video of Bigfoot's
this
real
was
dick.
like a camera that was set up, and they
Okay.
and where it's coming from is this creature allegedly was raiding the camp for food. Right.
Okay.
I will press play now.
Is that's
Okay, I'm just saying that's a lot of swing. That's got to hurt. Like,
Is it dragging the
Oh,
ground?
there it is.
it's slapping his thigh. Probably his
I'm going to
belly
rewind
button,
it real
too.
quick. It's the very beginning. Watch it very carefully.
Okay.
Did you see it?
Oh, I saw it. There it is.
How can you not?
Oh, okay.
Like a
There's that
doll's
magnificent
arm
piece.
punching out of his crotch.
So it's not.
Let me remove that.
Please.
So what you guys think?
Great.
Hey, man, impressive. Yeah.
So maybe people didn't get a look. So I actually got a still, because, obviously people are going to need the red circles, guys.
Of course.
So, of course, I prepared the red circles. Bigfoot's actual penis. We have a still shot there. So for those of you people watching at home or in the chat, you can now walk away from this episode and claim to have actually seen Bigfoot's penis. Congratulations.
Looks like a pencil dick.
Yeah,
It's from a distance. It's actually like
something else. That seems like.
I mean, considering the rest
more like
of
a
the
garden
boat on
hose.
that thing,
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah.
that's not impressive. That's like underwhelming.
Seems like a little worm.
But it's from a distance, guys. It's from a reasonable distance, so
yeah,
it's actually more like a garden hose.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's that weird bend in it?
That's from like 50 yards away, guys.
No, you froze on one thing. Like as it's flapping up, it bends like it's got an elbow. It looks like a doll's arm.
Maybe it's hard.
It's like he's punching himself in the stomach.
So maybe people need a closer look. Hold on.
Yeah.
See, now it looks pretty big, right? The actual dick of the Bigfoot.
It looks like a pencil with the fist at the end of it.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
That's
getting a plunger treatment is all I'm saying.
A pencil with an oversized eraser. Remember the erasers we used to put on the end of our erasers in school? The oversized eraser at the end of the pencil.
Looked like a mushroom, really.
Oh, but you know what the funny thing is? After a while, you get kind of numb to this shit. And then I started finding like other forms of erotica that was even more like just out there. Craziest erotica I've been seeing actually. T-Rex erotica.
Okay, so there is a movie with that in it. Have you seen? Oh gosh, what was it? Like a preacher turns into a T-Rex or something, or her boyfriend turns into a T-Rex, and they end up like doing it.
As him as a T-Rex?
Yeah.
I don't think. Do T-Rexes even have penises?
Like, oh gosh, was he a pastor? It was something like.
No idea.
I don't think that.
Well, they do in that movie, apparently.
Yeah, how do T-Rexes have sex? That must be weird.
You get enough friction, anything works, I guess.
I can't imagine.
Okay, you know what? Actually, you know what? Okay, I've actually now have a fucking real legitimate question. Stegosauruses, how would they have sex? The backs are all spines.
Carefully.
You can't mount one Stegosaurus can't mount the other Stegosaurus.
So maybe he uses his horns to like get under her and like roll
like,
her
what do
over?
they do? Do they do like side by side? Do they do missionary? I think they do missionary.
Her with that horn, he rolls her over and then slithers on top of her real quick. Well, she's like,
I think she just lays an egg. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe.
No idea.
How do they even do that?
Well, we'll go with what Monica said.
Yeah, we'll roll with that.
She turtles it.
Okay, so do we have any other thoughts or final words we have, statements on, or views that we'd like to share?
Get my IQ points back
on Bigfoot Erotica?
Yeah.
The only thing that I gathered out of this, it is quite the money-making scheme. Yeah. And I will say this, Donny.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking away from it for sure. Is like I need the right.
But here's the thing: with me personally, sure, I can be extremely creative, but my lord, I would be so embarrassed to try to come up with the imagination to write some steamy Bigfoot erotica.
No, just get AI to do it, Rob. Just tell AI to do it.
And then have AI do it, and we speak.
Oh yes.
Yeah, just tell AI to do it.
I'm not even kidding. We need to like collaborate on that.
Yeah, well, I'm in for that. That's easy.
So we'll start. Donnie, you start chapter 1, and then you pass it down to Rob. He writes chapter 2. Pass it.
Oh, that would be a fun project, actually. If we all wrote this erotica together, but we all took turns writing one chapter.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be kind of fun.
If AI is involved and it's money making, hey, you know what? I'm a capitalist at heart. Let's do it.
Just tell Chat GPT. I'm looking to write some Bigfoot erotica. These are my parameters. It's a girl and a Bigfoot in the forest next to a lake. Give me an outline. And I promise you it'll.
But then again, that's a whole other subject, which burns me, but we can talk about that some other time.
Anyway, so I got to end it here because you guys have another show to do. But guys, before I
have to take a cool shower after this one before I do my show.
Before I hit the end button, I did write and prepare a second song for this episode because I do put that effort in there.
Yes, you do.
This one I have titled. It's called 36 Inches of Love. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Erotic Bigfoot, ready to dig you down. Erotic Bigfoot, taking your ass to Pound Town. That cryptid sauce all up in your tent. Over his knee, we will all be bent. 36 inches of love, 36 inches of cryptid sauce, 36 inches of fun. Erotic Bigfoot, that sexual boss. Erotic Bigfoot, gonna lay that pipe. Man or woman, 36 inches of furry height. Squatching those woods for a sexy time. She knocked this, that ass is mine. 36 inches of love, 36 inches of cryptid sauce, 36 inches of fun. Erotic Bigfoot, the sexual boss. We need Donny says stuff, we are sexually free. Erotic Bigfoot, loving all night long. Erotic Bigfoot with that 3-foot dong. 36 inches of love, 36 inches of Bigfoot dick, 36 inches of dong.